Science is a complicated subject. My dad, being someone who studied solar engineering, renewable engineering, and engineering for social justice, has meant my life has been filled with a lot of scientific topics that I mostly don't remember. My uncle was not so fortunate to have the same opportunity. Someone flip the slide. Was not so fortunate to have the same opportunity because I learned a bit from my dad. That's my uncle. On that Thanksgiving Eve, that one night, I remember he looked so serious while I just sat with a pour of thoughts coming over me. Thanks. The pour of thoughts coming over me. Wait, actually? So you're not joking? He seemed so foreign to me in that moment, and I could just wonder, why would he think that? Why didn't he trust the science? He said he didn't believe the vaccine was trustworthy. What I, what I found so unfamiliar then, now looking back, I see that actually has some validity. For example, what I learned was that from 1932 to 1972, 400 black men were used in an experiment because they had syphilis. They were used in an experiment conducted to record the progress of the disease without any treatment, where they faced risks of brain damage, nerve damage, damage to their eyes and the heart. Or we could look at the 1955 to 1960 birth control tests, where up to 1/3 of the population of Puerto Rican women were used to test dosages of birth control, where they didn't know the effects, and this was a prominent company, the Searle Company, which many of us may use today. Or we can look back to another one, there's many, 1900s, 1906 to be exact, of November, where 24 Filipino men were used in an experiment. They were incarcerated, and so they had no choice to face this injection of cholera that was infected by the bubonic plague, and they wanted to see what would happen. Only 11 of these men survived. The United States and many other powerful countries and institutions have used and abused their minorities to the point where even my own uncle, as a reminder, that's my uncle, have used and abused their minorities to the point where even my uncle doesn't trust the vaccine. And this goes to many other subjects, like climate change. While people may not disbelieve the fact that climate change is real, they may not fully understand the fact that within even the next 20 years, if we as humans cannot reduce the effects of climate change to below 1.5 degrees Celsius from what it has been, then, and I quote, the consequences will effectively be baked into the natural systems of the planet. There will be, in effect, no turning back, according to the National Resources Defense Council, the NRDC. The medical and scientific industries that we have explored have inhumane backgrounds and continue to create reasons for mistrust, like the fact that while 66% of the US population is fully vaccinated, only around 36% of the African population has gotten one dose of the vaccine. And this creates the opportunities for the virus to mutate and to have recurring outbreaks that keep on allowing this pandemic to persist. With this knowledge, this shows all of Africa is greatly disparaged when it comes to the effects of the COVID vaccinations. The COVID vaccinations. It's important to recognize that why everyone may not completely trust the science, and it's important to recognize that this abuse isn't over. And with this, we can become better members of our societies, and we can all help make science something everyone can trust, a science for the people. Thank you.